Hello YouTube, another video here. I'll probably be shaking the camera a little bit. But this is a day in the life of someone with fibromyalgia and whatever else I have that hasn't been fully diagnosed yet. So yesterday I went to the doctor and went to get an MRI on my hand. You probably can't tell, but my hand swells, my fingers get stuck if I stay in like holding something or doing a certain motion for more than a few minutes. And I have constant achy pain. I'm not the best at describing my pain, but long story short, my rheumatologist wants me to get an MRI on my hand, and him and I decided it would be my left hand because we're trying to diagnose me or figure out and confirm if I have rheumatoid arthritis, RA. And so, because I have super high levels of inflammation in my body, we can't figure out what's going on. And I also have bulging disc, sciatica, pinched nerve, and my elbow, and fibromyalgia is the biggest thing. So fibromyalgia confirmed. I've been dealing with fibromyalgia pain for 10 years, a little over 10 years, since I was about 16. I remember just my hands and arms aching, and the older I've got, the more it's moved down my body, and literally is everywhere now. So yesterday when I went to get the MRI, we found out that he ordered it for the wrong hand, because if it is an RA, we want to be able to see what's wrong with my left hand. And so they went to start the IV because it's with contrast, and she couldn't. The first place she tried, the vein collapsed, and then that hurt, but it wasn't as bad as the second one. And she goes near my hand right there. You can actually see the bubble of fluid that's still sitting there. And when she stuck it in, my whole body like tensed in pain. And she's like, your skin's so thick. And she just keeps pushing. I was like, I can't do this. I need you to pull it out. I need you to stop. Like, take the needle out. I can't do it. And even the guy from the front desk walks back there, and he's like, what's going on? Are y'all okay? Because he heard me yell. And I was like, no. I was like, I'm not okay. And she's not taking this out. Like, she's not taking, like, I can't handle her trying to thread this needle through my vein. Like, I can't even describe the pain, but it literally felt like my veins were collapsing. Like literally, like I felt like it was just like closing off, and she kept just trying to push it through. And she did that for like 5 minutes, and I'm probably gonna have a huge bruise. And she kept just trying to flush it, and it was just sitting there like under my skin. And they weren't like listening to me. I think they just thought I was being sarcastic or funny, but I wasn't. Like, I was like, take this needle out. So we ended up deciding, and they were nice, but like, I hope one day she doesn't watch this, but she wasn't a good nurse, phlebotomist, whatever you call. She's an okay nurse, but she definitely is. Trying to hold the camera. This is something else. My hands hurt all the time that like I can't hold stuff up long, but or I have to reposition. But she didn't really know how to like do like the blood, like stick the needle in. Like, what the heck? And so we ultimately decided, since the doctor had ordered the MRI for the wrong hand, 2 of my veins had collapsed and they couldn't really find another one. We decided it would be better for me just to reschedule. Uh, so I left and decided to brush it off, went to work, and I work in a call center type setting. And I stayed the whole day. I felt okay overall. Um, but there wasn't anything that I was like, oh, I'm hurting, like it was nothing like that. And then I worked the whole day, took calls, did all my work, told my managers, my colleagues, bye, see you tomorrow. And then came home, ate dinner, laid down a little bit, watched some videos. I was starting to hurt in the nighttime, and I was really exhausted because I had woke up early to go to try to get the MRI, before work. And then I went to bed really early because I was so exhausted, and I remember just even trying to stay awake, and I couldn't. And so I wake up this morning, no, I had the worst dreams, and the pain was just so bad, literally. So I'm not the best at describing it, but I want to try to. Let me switch hands. Ooh, my wrist hurts. It's kind of, I've never been hit by a car or ran a marathon. And pain to someone with fibromyalgia is different than pain or flu symptoms, or so when you have the flu and your body just aches all over and your head hurts, you have a bad headache or migraine, and you feel like you can't keep your eyes open because your head just hurts so bad, and you're just so fatigued and exhausted. And so that's how it feels. And then another part on a bad Flair day is it feels like racing pain that's tingly, radiating, throbbing pain just running all up and down your whole entire body. And your muscles are just going like this and spasming. To me, it happens in my shoulders, my necks, my arm, and my back, and my literally my whole body. And so I felt like I had ran a marathon and had the flu all at once. And so, my wrist hurt. Anyways, so then the first thing when I wake up and I realize I'm hurting so bad, I'm still hurting. So the first thing I think is I have to use my FMLA, my job protection, and I can't work today. I literally couldn't even open my eyes, and I'm still struggling, and it's 8 or 9 maybe hours later. So the first thing I think is no one's gonna believe me. No one's gonna believe that I was okay yesterday and I was joking around with my colleagues and talking to my manager and had no problems, and then I wake up and I'm a train wreck. I'm a literal train wreck, hurting so bad. And so whenever someone with fibromyalgia who's in pain, it literally wears you down mentally and emotionally, and you have to decide in that moment that I'm not going to let this depress me. I'm not going to let it control me, and I'm not going to care what other people think. 'Cause I have to advocate for myself, and I have to be strong for me. No one can give me strength. No one can make me feel like they know what I'm talking about or say it's okay, because it doesn't matter what they think. I'm important to me, and I have to stand up for me and do what's right for me. So I, instead of going through the whole, no one's going to believe me, and, I kind of did for a minute start, getting kind of insecure, feeling that, everybody's going to think I'm just faking it and all this, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't, really. So I ended up texting my boss, I have to rest today. I woke up in a bad flare, and I don't like taking medicine, so I'm supposed to take medicine twice a day, but I only take it once. Um, so the only time I do is when I'm in a flare. So I took my muscle relaxer and went to sleep for almost 5 hours. And I just woke up about an hour or so ago, and I'm still hurting. Not as bad. I'm not having the racing pain, um, radiating pain, but like I'm still very achy, and my head still hurts. It's all like right here, and my neck hurts. But it's just, and it feels like your body is like a porcelain doll, like breakable. Like you feel like you could break. So every step like you take, it just feels like your bones just hurt or are gonna break at any moment. Like it's intense. Um, and this is just my experience. Everybody has different stages and symptoms of it. My mom and my grandma also have fibromyalgia, and they don't go through the exact same things. Um, my mom does tell me, she's the first person I call every time that I'm having a flare day, because I grew up with her. I mean, she's had it since she was young too, and she thinks that when she was younger it was worse because of hormones. I'm 27 and of course have hormones, and I have a lot of stuff going on with my hormones too that we're trying to figure out what's going on. But yeah, it's just a lot. And I was talking to my mom, and I'm like, I don't understand like why I was okay yesterday and then woke up today in this like terrible flare. And she goes, well, what happened yesterday? Like, what did your schedule change? And that's the thing. I'd woke up at 9 when I normally get up at 10:30. So even like an hour difference like throws fibromyalgia people off. And then that intense pain I had when both of my veins collapsed, when they were trying to get the IV in, like tensed my whole body, and like kind of like triggered my pain. But it didn't start until the next day. So that's the thing with like chronic pain and fibromyalgia. You never know. Like, we don't get a warning. You don't start gradually getting to where you're hurting, then boom, flare day. Like, you can be completely okay, and then just the next day wake up a total mess. And I think it's hard for people who don't grow up with someone who has chronic pain or fibromyalgia to fully understand that, like, I could be okay yesterday and bad today and okay tomorrow and bad Friday, or go 2 months with being okay and then be bad, or 2 weeks of being bad. Like, we can't always control it, and we can't always know when it's coming. And the most important thing with dealing with someone who has fibromyalgia or chronic pain is like silent support. Because for me personally, I don't want to hear, I'm so sorry, so sorry you're hurting. Don't be sorry. This is my life, this is what I was given, and ultimately it's what I have to deal with, and I'm gonna be okay regardless. I don't need sorry. My husband, for a little while didn't really understand it when we first got married. And now he's he is my backbone and my biggest support. And he really has been like, he just sometimes just sits with me and just sits there, and he knows that like he can rub me lightly, because like any type of touch, because our whole body just feels like it's like aching, and it feels internal, like I just can't describe it. And so like any type of light touch sometimes can help. Today wasn't a day where my skin felt like it was burning, but also sometimes with fibromyalgia you can have burning sensation skin, like literally feel like you're on fire. Thank God I didn't have that on top of everything else. So silent support, and also just like saying, hey, I'm here, if you need to talk or vent, or and feel better. I like when people say feel better. I used to not, because I was like, I can't feel better. This is my life, you know? Like, I'm really trying to work on accepting how my life is and what my restrictions are. So feel better to me could be like, I hope you're starting to get some relief or feel better. And I don't mind that. Another thing is, the worst thing you could say to someone with fibromyalgia is, well, this is your everyday. You're in pain all the time. You're hurting all the time. You've had flares for years. Yeah, that's true. You're so right. But guess what? It doesn't feel like the same thing to me. It doesn't. It doesn't feel like just another day or something I've always went through. It doesn't feel like that. And that's the biggest insult you can say to someone who has pain. So to you, I'm having another day or another episode, but it's not to me. It's suffering and traumatizing. My little doggy here, she helps me the most too. Yeah, you're a good baby. Okay, good. If I could recommend everyone who has chronic pain to get a dog, 100% do. Like 100%, because she slept with me all day. And I slept for 5 hours. So, that's what I was saying if I didn't already. Excuse me. So, I took my muscle relaxer and slept for almost 5 hours. And then woke up, felt a little bit better. But I think I'm repeating myself. Anyways, this has been a long video. So I'm probably going to end it here soon. But I can't remember what I was saying. The brain fog is so bad with fibromyalgia. You don't have to believe us to understand, or you don't have to understand us to believe us. And I think just the big thing is, like, oh yeah, I was talking about, don't just tell people, well, this is how you feel all the time. Like, aren't you just okay with it? No, we're never okay with it. Like, literally. It takes so much strength to not go to a dark place mentally and be in instant depression. Because, I mean, there's so many feelings of, why me? This isn't fair. You know, I was okay. Like, everything everyone thinks, like, we think too. We were okay yesterday. What happened? We know what happened. Like, something triggered our pain or flare. Our schedule change, or the traumatizing, like, physical traumatizing, or trigger. I'm not trying to say traumatizing. Trigger events. But still, like, you just never get used to pain. You just never do, really. I mean, maybe one day I will, but at this point I haven't. And you just have to accept it, you know? So, this year, I think I was already starting to say this, but this year I'm really trying to focus on accepting my limitations and being okay with what I have to offer, and what I can do is enough, because I'm enough. And I was given this life for a reason. Maybe, no, I'm not going to write a book or start a whole nonprofit organization for fibromyalgia, but this is my life, and I have to be okay with it and live it. I can't live my life sitting there constantly saying, this isn't fair. I want it to change. I can't do this. I can do this. And I just have to remember that. And some days you're not going to feel like that, and that's okay. Just always know that you just have to get through it, and you are going to get through it, because we have no other choice. So if you have fibromyalgia out there, I hope this video helped you feel like you could relate and you understand, and wow, somebody else out there gets it and goes through the same guilt and the same thoughts and emotions and pain. Because it's freaking hard, and to feel alone in this would be so hard. I have a childhood friend who, she doesn't have fibromyalgia, but she has chronic pain, and we both had a really bad day, woke up in a flare, and I'm just thinking, like, wow, like, it's so nice to have someone to relate to. I don't want other people to suffer, but to know someone my age who I grew up with is out there, woke up, same thing, in pain. It gives you a sense of peace, like, I'm not alone in this. So I think it's really good to find a support community Facebook groups. If you look up your specific chronic pain or fibromyalgia, there's a lot of groups out there. And I think just being open and vulnerable with your family and friends and letting them know, I go through this guilt. This is the type of support I need from you. This is what I prefer for you not to say. If you have someone in your life that will be open and listen to that. Like I said, it did take my husband a good year or two to really just grasp how I needed to be supported emotionally and everything. And I mean, he is my rock, my absolute rock. I could not do this life without him. Sorry. He's just really good to me. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. But I want to start sharing my story more because, you know, I used to always think I can't be negative. I can't tell my journey like I always did on my personal Facebook. But you always worry about judgment. But I'm tired. I'm almost 28. You know, I'm tired of worrying what people think about, and I don't want to seem negative. Like I don't want to feel like I can't be negative. Negativity and highs and lows are life. Why are we always pretending and faking? Why do we have to fake being happy or fake being that everything's great? I wasn't okay today. I wasn't. And I'm not okay physically right now, but I'm okay emotionally. And that's okay. Because it's life and we're humans. And we need to share our story because we don't want other people to feel alone. So, and also to bring awareness. Like, you know, if people don't like negativity, what they consider negativity, because I'm suffering, I can't explain my journey. But if you don't like seeing that or what you think is negativity, don't watch it, don't look at it, unfollow, unlike, defriend, whatever. So anyways, I want to end on a positive note and just let everyone out there know that you're gonna be okay. You'll always be okay. Just get through today. And if you can't handle the thought of getting through today, get through the next 5 minutes, get through the next hour, but stay strong, keep your head up, you got this. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.